Hello and welcome to Healthcare, Real Estate, and Beyond. 4 steps to industry specific HubSpot configuration. I am Ryan Gunn, the Director of Demand Gen and Marketing Ops at Aptitude 8. Aptitude 8 is an elite HubSpot partner that focuses on technical consulting on HubSpot. We do HubSpot implementations, migrations, integrations with other platforms, and custom development work that helps companies get the most out of HubSpot. Today, we're going to be discussing what those 4 steps to customizing HubSpot for your industry are. First, we've got customizing your data model. 2, configuring your CRM records so that you see the information that you need to see quickly. 3, building dynamic website pages, and we're going to cover exactly what makes them dynamic. And 4, integrating for additional functionality within HubSpot. But first, let's talk about why CRM customization is so important. Your business has unique needs that no other company has. There's no perfect tool out there that will meet all of those needs, so you're going to have to configure existing tools to work for you. Industry specific tools exist, but they are often not very user friendly. They have extremely limited automation capabilities. They don't integrate well with basically any other tool, and they have terrible customer support. With a tool like HubSpot, instead, you can get a powerful, user friendly CRM that can be configured to your needs. Plus, you get world class customer support and a partner ecosystem. Your CRM is probably the most expensive go to market technology that your company has, but most companies are only using a small fraction of the functionality that they pay for. This session will help you get the most out of your CRM so that that investment is actually worth it. To do that, we're going to look at 2 different industries and show how the same set of tools within HubSpot can be configured to meet the needs of both of those industries. Needless to say, HubSpot is not limited to just healthcare and real estate use cases. So if you work in a different industry, the takeaway here is going to be to think about how these same tools can be configured to fit your needs. First, let's talk about data models. This is how your data is organized within HubSpot. You have standard objects like contacts and deals, as well as custom objects. Custom objects can be used for literally anything that you can think of. I'm not exaggerating when I say anything. We have a client that has a custom object for horses. The objects in your data model can be configured and associated with one another to show relationships between your data. To build a healthcare data model, we want to look at all of those standard objects plus a few custom objects. So contacts may seem simple on the surface, but you can use the contact object and break it down by type. So think about different contact types like a patient or a practitioner. Those are going to show different information for each. And you can also show relationships between contacts. So you can show like who a patient's doctor is. Companies are not traditionally relevant to direct to consumer healthcare. But if your practice has multiple office locations, you can use the company's object to track which locations your patients are visiting. Tickets are perfect for something like a patient support request. This would be things like billing questions or prescription refills. Deals have a unique pipeline functionality. So they are great for things like appointment management and billing and insurance claims. And lastly, custom objects. These just totally custom things for your specific use cases. In the case of healthcare, you might want to look at something like patient records, test results, or services that your company offers. For real estate, you're going to see a lot of the same types of customization. For contacts, you are once again looking at different contact types, buyers, sellers, and agents, and you're going to have different information depending on which type of contact that is. For companies, you're probably not so much interested in the company that your buyer or seller works for, but you are interested in other real estate agencies and partners. Tickets would be great for showing requests that can be triaged to different agents. Deals are awesome for submitting offers and really managing the whole contracting process. And lastly, custom objects. The most obvious one that you guys are probably already thinking of is property listings. These are the actual houses that are for sale. Once you've set up your data model, you'll need to customize those records so that they surface important and relevant information at a glance. Record pages on all objects are extremely customizable, and you can conditionally show different layouts based on the data that is stored on that record. As a healthcare example, we have here a contact record that has been customized for a patient. You can see standard contact info like their name, phone number, and address, but also patient specific information like their insurance info and documents like a consent form. On the right sidebar, you can see relationships to associated objects. We've got their healthcare team, who are the providers that offer support, as well as contacts they are associated with, like family members. There's also a middle panel with tabs at the top that can be used to show additional properties, CRM cards, record specific reports, and more. For real estate, we have here a listing custom object record. This is going to show all kinds of information that you'd expect to see if you were looking at this property on Zillow. Things like the address, the listing price, square footage of the house. And when we set this up for a client, we actually used an integration with MLS to automatically populate this information from that database so that we can minimize the manual data entry when they're creating new listing records. Next, let's talk about dynamic website pages. These are tied very closely to custom objects, and they're the coolest HubSpot feature that I almost never see anybody use. How these work are you create a website page template that maps data directly from a custom object record onto a website page. It's going to dynamically pull that data from your CRM onto the page and create a new page for each record. So instead of creating a ton of individual pages manually, you're going to create a single template and it's going to automatically generate new pages when you create those new records. These are great for things like membership portals or microsites with lots of pages. Think about like sessions at an event or individual lessons for a course. For healthcare, you could build a patient portal that pulls data from the patient records custom object. This is a secure, password protected place where a patient could access their healthcare records, schedule new appointments, and manage their account and payments. Real estate companies can market their property listings online with dynamically generated listing pages. For a large real estate firm that has potentially hundreds or even thousands of properties, creating a page for each listing would be an enormous time suck. HubSpot's dynamic CMS pages allow them to pull data directly from the listing's custom object to create new website pages quickly and efficiently every time they have a new listing. Lastly, I want to talk about integrations and CRM cards. Integrations and CRM cards really go hand in hand. You're probably already familiar with integrations, which involve connecting two systems, usually with some kind of data sync. CRM cards are a little bit more complex. They usually require some sort of custom development work, but they allow you to build additional custom functionality on top of HubSpot's existing UI. This is important if you want your team to be able to operate solely within HubSpot instead of having to constantly switch systems. It's going to create efficiency, it's going to reduce errors, and it's generally going to create a better user experience for your team. HubSpot's new React-based CRM cards allow you to build with HubSpot UI elements. So from your team's perspective, they don't even know that they're using a custom developed functionality. It just appears like any other native tool in HubSpot. Okay, so tell me if this sounds familiar. You go into a doctor's office, the first thing that happens is you have to fill out forms and sign a set of documents. And you have to enter the same information over and over and over. You have to put your name and birthday on like 5 different pages. Instead of that, imagine if they gave you a QR code to scan and you could fill out those forms from your phone. Not only that, but most of the information is pre-populated because it's pulling from the information they already know about you from your record in HubSpot. This is something that is possible through PandaDoc's integration with HubSpot. The patient gets a much smoother waiting room experience, and the healthcare team gets all the information they need without any manual data entry and without having to use any other system than HubSpot. Speaking of staying within HubSpot, this is a CRM card that our team designed to facilitate scheduling showings for a real estate company. HubSpot does have a native scheduling tool, but it only allows you to see one person's availability at a time. And that doesn't work very well for a team of 10 plus real estate agents that have to schedule showings across dozens of properties. With this CRM card, an office admin could take appointments over the phone, see who's available when, and create showing appointments right from the property record. This card integrates with Google Calendar, so it pulls the agent's availability, it puts showings right on their calendar, And it can also trigger automation like appointment reminders.
I want to go through 3 more industries and how you could customize HubSpot for them. For SaaS and PLG, you could build custom objects for free trials and accounts. You could build dynamic CMS pages for account portals so you can allow your users to see their account information and manage their payments. You can integrate high touch, which allows you to put user data from your product into HubSpot via reverse ETL. You can create a CRM card for subscription configuration. This is especially useful if you have a more complex subscription model like volume or usage based pricing. And you can create automation to smooth that free trial onboarding process to increase the conversion rate between a free trial sign up and upgrading to a full account. Next, we have professional services. This is one that is near and dear to my heart since I work for a professional services company. You can create custom objects for projects that you're delivering, as well as the teams who are delivering that work. You can create dynamic CMS pages for client reporting dashboards. That would be great for something like QBR. You can integrate with Slack for communication with your clients, as well as ClickUp for project management. You can develop CRM cards for SLA monitoring. So you're making sure that your teams are actually adhering to the agreements that you make with your clients. And you can automate the sales to service handoff process, which often is a huge point of friction. Lastly, we have event management. For event management, you could create custom objects for events, sessions, and attendees. You can create dynamic CMS pages for each individual session so that your attendees can register for those sessions. You can do integrations with external event platforms like Eventbrite, and you can create a CRM card for a trade show floor plan so that when you are onboarding sponsors, you can just go directly to that floor plan and see what booths are available and what is not so that you can sell more sponsorships. And lastly, you can create automation for revenue attribution so that you can tie these events to deals and to money that's coming in the door. So, to wrap up what we covered, here are the tools that you can use to customize HubSpot to your industry, whether it's real estate or healthcare or SaaS or something to do with horses. Really, any industry can use these exact same tools to create a fully configured CRM that is specific to their industry and their business. We've got creating custom objects and configuring records so that you have your data model built out. You can build dynamic CMS pages. You can set up integrations to get additional data and functionality into HubSpot. You can build custom CRM cards so that you're using additional functionality on top of HubSpot's UI. And lastly, we have automation. You may notice I didn't cover automation in any of the above slides, but that's because it touches literally every single aspect of this. Automation is the engine that is going to power this customization. So it's really a part of every single one. Thank you all so much for attending this session. Thank you to Paul Sullivan and Digital Bias for putting on this event. If you have questions about what I covered today, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. And if you need help setting up HubSpot to fit your specific business needs, you can schedule a call with our team at aptitude8.com/contact us. Thank you.